One of the major impacts of the program is that it has improved the dignity of the beneficiaries.
There is a big change between receiving food and receiving cash money.
Money as medium of exchange. You can buy anything.
In Kenya, 84% of the land area is classified as arid and semi-arid land, and a majority of this area is affected by moderate to severe land degradation and desertification. About 10 million people live in arid and semi-arid lands, and over half of this live below the poverty line. These regions remain chronically poor, routinely food insecure, drought-prone and marginalized.
The poverty rates in Wajir County is extremely very high. It's one of the highest in the country, and that's one of the reasons why Wajir County was chosen as one of the beneficiary counties.
The situation in Marsabit before was very bad. Among the 47 counties, it was that from the bottom.
There was a lot of overdependence by communities on food aid, and majority of the communities were relying on food aid.
Saa ingine tunapata unga, hiyo sukari hatuwezi pata, watu ni wengi, maskini ni wengi. Kitambo tukuje imeshaisha. So saa ingine tunaweza lala njaa, saa ingine tunapata.
Ilikuwa zamani kuna ng'ombe na maliswa na jilali. Naishi tu kama shida tu ilikuwa hapa.
In an effort to address these challenges, the government of Kenya, through the National Drought Management Authority and with funding from the UK and the Australian government, implemented the Hunger Safety Net Program, HSNP. HSNP is an unconditional poverty-based social protection program that delivers regular and predictable cash transfers to targeted poorest and vulnerable households in the 4 counties of Turkana, Mandera, Marsabit and Wajir.
Hunger Safety Net program, I would say, it is about protecting the poorest communities. It is about protecting the most vulnerable.
We aim to reach up to 100,000 of the poorest households by providing them with a regular support, cash transfers electronically delivered directly into their bank account.
One of the key innovations is when you look at the transfers, our beneficiaries could get what they want. Secondly, the countries in East Africa also are learning from Kenya, bearing in mind that this is a government flagship project.
HSNP is delivered in 2 phases. Phase 1, the pilot, which ran from 2008 to 2012, reached 69,000 households. HSNP Phase 2, that ran from 2013 to date, plans to reach 100,000 regular households that receive payments after every 2 months. The objective of HSNP is to reduce poverty, hunger, and vulnerability for the poor in Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands, and to create better and more sustainable safety nets for poor and vulnerable households, particularly for the households in the arid and semi-arid lands.
It is directly targeting people who are vulnerable, people who have been affected by drought, whose assets have been destroyed, whose livestock have been destroyed, who are living below the poverty line.
Emergency cash transfers during drought is one of the core objectives of the HSNP Phase 2. Currently, over 78% of all households in the 4 counties have active bank accounts, with more accounts being activated each week.
HSNP is one of the key cash transfer programs that has an emergency component in it. We usually give the beneficiaries, especially the Group 2 beneficiaries who do not receive regular cash transfers.
It's about actually having an impact, about making sure that we're reaching and making a difference for the poorest people in those drought-affected areas. Secondly, it's also about making sure it's good value for money, that we're delivering the finances to the right person at the right time and the person who's most in need.
Waqtiga lacagtan ay noo imaadayso waxay ahayd waqti abaara laga soo baxay oo dhibka aad jir. Waqtigii abaaraha laga soo baxay oo maartay dadka aad la ciibsan yahay ay lacagtan ugu soo toostay.
The Hunger Safety Net program operates under 5 thematic areas: registration and targeting, bank account opening, payments, case management, and realization of wider rights. Between 2012 and 2013, HSNP registered 374,000 households across the 4 counties that voluntarily turned up for the exercise. The program used a selection criterion that was agreed upon by the government and the key stakeholders. It targeted the poorest and most vulnerable households.
The fact that we have got very many poor families here, I think it was the intention of the project to assist these people who are poor. And the main purpose of this particular program is to assist these households so that they can be able to fend for themselves.
All HSNP payments to beneficiaries are then made through bank accounts. Nominated members from beneficiary families with valid national IDs open and have access to the bank accounts.
Our role in HSNP program is payment service provider. We ensure we open an account for these beneficiaries that are already identified. We distribute cards. Therefore, we do the payments finally and ensure that these targeted beneficiaries get the services where they are.
We issued MasterCards to every beneficiary such that they will be able to access their funds through equity agents which are distributed all across the Wajir County, and also they were able to access the funds through our branch outlets.
For beneficiaries who do not have a valid national ID card, bank accounts were opened for them using household registration receipts provided by the program. In addition, the NDMA facilitated the National Registration Bureau, NRB, to register and issue beneficiaries with national ID cards through a national ID registration exercise in the respective sub-locations.
There are over 4,000 households targeted that cannot receive their money because of ID cards. The program has tried to partner with the National Registration Bureau, but the situation has not improved. You will find people with the waiting cards for IDs for more than 6-7 years.
HSNP cash transfers are deposited to beneficiaries' bank accounts on the 5th day of every 2 months. Beneficiaries can access money using an ATM card at Equity's payment agents within their sub-locations, through an ATM or over the counter of any Equity bank. There is no pressure to withdraw the full amount of cash transfer because beneficiaries can and are able to save in their bank account. However, they are allowed 2 free withdrawals per cycle. The bank accounts must be active at least once in 6 months, equivalent to 3 payment cycles, to avoid being deactivated after 6 months of dormancy.
Tunapata 5,100. Baada ya mwezi moja ndio tunaenda kuchukua, ndio tunaenda kwa agent tununue na kitu. Ikiwa ni credit tunaenda kulipa.
Baada ya miezi 2 napata 5,100.
Mili gerin kolonga ariamne agmatana na tokna. Sa talam tae nakna rupiano na tegelaja na tegelaga matoga. Ada tiluri chani ngama kai gokare. Incho tana bala gogoron baati. Gogo tani ngini. Rapina rapana to korkor atupataria. Ada tokana.
A beneficiary can update or file a complaint through forms located at the sub-locations. The cases are then logged into and managed by HSNP MIS Case Management System. HelpAge, in partnership with local partners, are working through rights committees to monitor payments and advocate for wider rights of beneficiaries.
We are supposed to advocate for the rights of the beneficiaries who might have problems or cases here and there, and assist them in getting what the problems that they are having.
We have a structure at the grassroots
called rights committees. So in every village, we have 158 sub-locations in Turkana. So in every sub-location, we have a committee called rights committee.
Kadi nasema hii ni kadi yako, hakuna kwa hiyo pesa yako. Kwa tunasunguka na kusha kidogo napata matatizo, baadaye akatengelezwa napata hiyo pesa. Wale watu walikuwa mbeleni nachukua pesa shilingi 47, yangu inakuwa na kidogo miezi ingine inapita nachukua 52 bali moja.
Equity Bank resolves payment-related complaints. Updates are resolved by NDMA, while legal and corruption-related complaints are referred to the national oversight mechanisms. At least 300,000 poor women benefit from improved access to financial services via electronic cash transfer payments directly into their bank accounts as a result of this intervention.
Pedur yang alia monika borine ni tekne chana ni amakar kara ngori yang de peduri agel kara I akmuj peduri yang alia mon na tanyam.
Nilipata 48,000 nikafungua hii katini, nikawaacha mambo ya chai, nikaendelea hii katini, nikaongeza mboga.
Niska kan bedele marka waxyaalaha niska kan bedele waxa kamid ah dukaan ka dhigani dukaan ana faantayda hadda basharada aan ku furtay dukaan ay kamid ahayd dukaanka sagahay ilaahay ba ii barakay waa ii sibate.
And we are happy to know that a number of them are already now traders. Out of the cash they receive, a little bit of it is saved. They are able to buy animals, they are able to buy goods, and they are able to make something out of the same.
You see orphans or widows who are left, who husbands have died, now managing their families without the husband, taking their children to school, and all that. And this is what they could not do with relief food.
The county as well is embracing cash transfers, courtesy of Hunger Safety Net, because they have seen the importance of it, and that basically most of the non-governmental organizations are shifting towards long-term cash transfer programming.
HSNP intends to reach over 600,000 of Kenya's most vulnerable people to access cash transfers, and up to 2.1 million people reach with emergency cash transfers in times of drought.
The Hunger Safety Net programme is now a key part of the National Safety Net programme, and it's also a core plank of the government's Ending Drought Emergencies plan. That's really good news because the government's shown commitment to the programme in its national policy framework. So we want to ultimately increase the domestic financing for this programme, both for the regular transfers and the scale-up transfers. But we're making good progress, but we know that we've still got more work to do in this area. So we're here for some time more.
HSNP continues to create better and more sustainable safety nets for poor and vulnerable households, to ending hunger and protecting assets.